Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Ahri, the Nine-Tailed Fox. Now this is going to be our first time reacting to this character. We don't know anything really about her background or her story or her origin or anything like that. So we're going to be doing like a full deep dive into it. We're going to look at her biography, her story, her skins, her interactions for sure. We're going to take a look at her theme, all of these things. I know Ahri, I think, is one of the older characters for sure because I think she's like in one of the older cinematics I recall watching. But yeah, I know Ahri. Ahri's one of those characters where like when I think of League of Legends, I do like picture Ahri because I just recognize Ahri as a character for League of Legends. And I feel like it is also the same for like other people as well. She's one of the like main, I don't want to say main characters of League of Legends, but you know what I mean? She's one of the most recognizable characters from League of Legends. All right, I'm excited. Let's get into it. All right, starting off with the biography page here we have for Ahri. It says, human emotions can be more volatile than even the deepest magic. Okay, that's an interesting quote. All right. And then we have role as mage, region is Ionia, which we do know, of course. And then the paragraph here says, innately connected to the magic of the spirit realm. Ahri is a fox-like Vastaya who can manipulate her prey's emotions and consume their essence, receiving flashes of their memory and insight from each soul she consumes. Oh, wow, interesting. Once a powerful yet wayward predator, Ahri is now traveling the world in search of remnants of her ancestors while she is also trying to replace her stolen memories with ones of her own making. Oh, interesting. So there's like some memory stuff going on with her character. I had no idea about any of that. I literally just learned it right now. And I guess it didn't occur to me that she's a Vastayan from Ionia. I don't think we've reacted to a Vastayan at all, so maybe we'll learn more about Vastayans in general. And I guess obviously right here it says race is Vastaya. Related champions though, we do have Yasuo, Lilia, and Wukong. Okay, we've only reacted to Yasuo. We haven't reacted to the other two. I know Lilia and Wukong looking like Vastayans, obviously, and then we do kind of know the connection with Yasuo because we have reacted to him. All right. For most of her life, Ahri's origins were a mystery to her. The history of her Vastayan tribe all but lost, save for the twin gemstones she has carried her entire life. Twin gemstones, okay. Ahri's earliest memories are of running with ice foxes in the northern reaches of Shenzhen. Though she knew she was not one of them, they clearly saw her as something of a kindred spirit and it came to accept her within the pack. Okay, ice foxes. So she ran with ice foxes when she grew up, okay. In that wild predatory existence, Ahri nonetheless felt a deeper connection to the forests around her. In time, she came to understand that this was the magic of the Vastaya that coursed through every fiber of her being and the realm of spirits that lay beyond. With no one to teach her, instead she learned to call upon this power in her own ways, most often using it to quicken her reflexes in pursuit of prey. If she was careful and close enough, she also found she might soothe a panicked deer so that it remained serene and calm even as she and her packmates sank their teeth into its flesh. Oh, that's kind of deep and dark and okay. So yeah, even as like her ice fox packmates were eating food, she would like calm down the animal. That's a good power. That's an interesting power that she has. The world of mortals was as distant and unsettling to Ahri as it was to the ice foxes, but she felt drawn to it for reasons she could not explain. Humans in particular were coarse, gruff creatures, and when a band of huntsmen camped nearby, Ahri watched them from afar as they went about their grim business. When one of them was wounded by a stray arrow, Ahri could feel his life seeping away. Knowing nothing but the instincts of a predator, she savored the spirit essence leaving his body and through it gained brief flashes of his memories. The lover he had lost in battle, and the children he had left behind when he came north. Ahri subtly pushed his emotions from fear to sorrow to joy, and comforted him with visions of a sun-soaked meadow as he died. That's a really nice thing that Ahri did. Afterwards, she found that human words now came to her easily, like something from a half-remembered dream, and Ahri knew the time had come to leave the pack behind. Whoa, wait. So literally, I guess this experience here, getting the memories and stuff, allowed her to now speak human words. That's kind of a crazy ability. Do we have like an X-Men or something that's some similar to that? I don't know. I feel like there's something in some other kind of pop culture thing that's kind of similar. Keeping to the fringes of society, she felt more alive than ever. Her predatory nature remained, but she was caught up in a riot of new experiences, emotions, and customs across Ionia. Mortals, it seemed, also became fascinated by her in return, and she often used this to her advantage, draining their essence while charming them with recollections of beauty, hallucinations of deep longing, and occasionally dreams colored by raw sorrow. That's very similar to Evelyn in a way, is it not? That's kind of creepy, but like they're making it seem a little less creepy like Evelyn, but she definitely is still like kind of doing the same thing because it literally says her predatory nature remained. She grew drunk on memories that were not her own and exhilarated in ending the lives of others, even as she felt the grief and woe she brought to her victims. Oh my god, that is very Evelyn. What the heck? She experienced heartbreak and elation and tantalizing flashes that left her craving more. I guess the difference though is Evelyn like lives on it. Ahri's just doing it. It was overwhelming, but she sensed her own power fading whenever she tried to stay away and could not help but partake again and again. Maybe I'm wrong. In time, she began to see herself as mortals did, a monster. Until one day, an artist stumbled upon her, hunched over a man as she drained his life essence from him. Where others would run, he stayed, offering his own life essence in exchange for her heart. For the first time in her life, Ahri let herself fall in love and be loved wholly and completely. Interesting. The guy wasn't even afraid of her and he offered his own life. Who is this artist? Is it really just some random guy? Their days passed in warmth and laughter, Ahri curbing her hunger by feeding on her lover. She was truly happy until she lost control, draining her lover completely. Oh, that's tragic. Ahri fell into despair, her grief consuming her as she mourned the loss of the first and only person she's ever loved. The first and only person who ever truly loved her. Retreating even further from society, she became consumed while learning more about where she came from in hopes that it would help her control her abilities. With her twin sunstones in hand, she set out in search of others like her, a journey that would take her out of Ionia and across Runeterra, eventually leading her to the discovery of her ancestors, the Vistani, a Vistian tribe that brought innovation and magic to the world before being wiped out. Inspired by their memories, Ahri has set off to travel the world in search of other remnants of the Vistani. She hopes to carry their legacy forward, bringing good into the world like they did. No longer burdened by the heavy weight of her regrets, she also hopes to finally leave her stolen memories behind and create new memories of her own making. Yo, I'm gonna say I had no idea Ahri's origins were pretty freaking dark. Like this is pretty. She does not give off the dark vibe, I guess you could say. I hate using the word dark vibe, but like, no, I had no idea that Ahri was like kind of a monster like others people saw her. Like she was just stealing people's memories and feeding off of their life essence. It's not a very nice thing, I guess, you know what I mean? So yeah, I had no idea. This is kind of a shock to me, to be honest. All right, everybody, we're going to do the story next. This is called A Fair Trade. The market smelled of burning incense and rotting cabbage. Ahri wrapped her cloak around her 9 tails and fiddled with her twin sunstone tokens to distract herself from the stench, rolling them between her fingers and snapping them together. Okay, now, maybe we'll learn it in this, or maybe we'll learn it in like her fandom or something. But yeah, does she not know anything about her twin sunstones still at this point in the lore? Each one had the shape of a blazing flame, but they were carved in such a way that their sharper edges fit together, forming a perfectly smooth orb. She had carried the golden stone since before she could remember, though she had no knowledge of their origin. There you go. Though Ahri was in a new environment, she was comforted by the latent magic buzzing all around her. She passed a stand with dozens of woven baskets filled to the brim with polished rocks, shells etched with legends from a seafaring tribe, gambling dice carved from bones, and other curious items. Nothing matched the style of Ahri's sculpted tokens. Care for a gem to match the blue of the skies? Asked the gray-bearded merchant. For you, I'll trade a cerulean bauble for the cost of a single cryraven feather, or perhaps the seed of a jubji tree. I'm flexible. Ahri smiled at him, but shook her head and continued through the market, sunstones in hand. She passed a stand covered in spiky orange vegetables, a child selling fruit that shifted color with the weather, and at least 3 peddlers swinging tins of incense, each of whom claimed to have discovered the deepest form of meditation. Ooh, I like that we're getting like illustrations with this one. Fortunes, come get your fortunes told, called a young woman with lavender eyes and a soft jawline. Find out who you'll fall in love with or how to avoid unlucky situations with a pinch of burdock root. Or if you'd prefer your future left to the gods, I'll answer a question about your past, though I do recommend finding out whether or not you're at risk for death by poisoning. A tall Vistaya with feline ears was about to take a bite of a spiced pastry. He froze and stared at the fortune teller in alarm. The answer is no, by the way. Yours for free, she said, curtsying at him before turning to Ahri. Now you look like you've had a dark and mysterious past, or at least some tales worth sharing. Any burning questions for me, lady? Beneath heavy layers of incense, Ahri paused at the scent of wet fur and spiced leather lingering at the woman's neck. Thank you, but no, she replied. I'm still looking around. You won't find any more mellow tokens in this market, I'm afraid, the woman said, nodding to Ahri's sunstones like the ones you have. Oh, mellow tokens. So she knows what the tokens are. The back of Ahri's neck prickled, and she drew closer to the woman. She would not let her excitement get the better of her. Do you recognize these? Where do they come from? The woman eyed Ahri. I think they're mellows anyway, she said. Never seen a pair in person. He only carved a small number in his time, and many of the sets were separated in the war. Dead rare, those. Ahri leaned closer with each word. I'm Huron, by the way, the woman said. Do you know where I might find this craftsman? Ahri asked. Huron laughed. No idea, but if you come in, I'll tell you what I know. Ahri wrapped her cloak around her shoulders and eagerly followed the fortune teller past her booth and into a caravan decorated wall to wall with animal skins. Tea, Huron said. I brewed it this morning. She poured 2 cups of liquid the color of plum wine, taking one for herself. The tea tasted of bitter oak bark, masked by a cloying dollop of honey. Huron held out a hand for the stones, but Ahri kept them close. I'm going to pause just to say this is, I feel like, this is what I feel like tea tastes like sometimes. There are some good teas, but this one right here where the tea tasted of bitter oak bark, and then it's just like being masked by honey. You know what I mean? Okay, anyway. I'm getting the sense that these are special to you, she said with a wry smile. Don't worry, I have no interest in peddling stolen sunstones. Bad for a girl's reputation. Can you tell me where they come from? Asked Ahri, handing them over gingerly. Huron held them up to the light. These are beautiful, she said. I don't know how they fit together so perfectly. I've not seen the like. Ahri said nothing. She stood frozen with curiosity and did not take her eyes off the woman. A legend says the sculptor known as Mello collected fossilized lizard eggs from 1,000 years ago that he carved into intricate shapes. These ancient lizards lived long before the Getu Sea dried up to a desert, leaving only petrified bones and dust. Interesting. Okay. Huron coughed, and Ahri detected a bitter note upon her breath, as if she had been drinking vinegar. Mellow-stones are designed as small pieces that fit into a larger sculpture, she continued. The woman dangled the golden pieces in front of Ahri's face. Just as your past has left you with information to be desired, these stones may have many more parts that, when combined, create another shape altogether. Who knows what you'll become when you track down your history. With the missing pieces, you may learn more than you'd like. Those are pretty words, Ahri murmured, staring at the woman. After a moment of silence, Huron chuckled. Some threads of truth, threads of my own invention. A fortune teller's weaving must be seamless. The woman retrieved a hunter's knife from a cabinet. I weave in just enough of what you desire to make you stay, she said, till the tea slows your muscles, that is. Oh, uh-oh. A low growl escaped Ahri's lips. She would tear this woman apart. She tried to pounce, but her limbs did not obey. She was rooted in place. Oh, there's no need for that, lady. I only need a single tail. Useful for a variety of potions, you see, and extremely valuable. Or so I think. Oh, she's going to cut off a tail of Ahri's? Never seen a Vestaya with foxtails before. The tea freezes any pain along with your mobility. Huron wrapped a bandage around one of Ahri's tails. Ahri tried to resist, but she still could not move. You'll wake up tomorrow good as new, said the woman. Well, with one less tail. Do you really use all 9? Dude, that's messed up. Ahri shut her eyes and reached out to the reservoirs of magic around her. The environment had plenty ripe for the taking, but she was too weakened by the tea to draw them to her. Instead, she reached into Huron's mind, which was far more malleable, and pushed. Ahri opened her eyes and stared hard into Huron's. They deepened from lavender to violet. Huron, she said, come closer. I would look into the face of the one who tricked me. Of course, lady, Huron replied, transfixed. The woman's voice sounded hollow as though it came from the bottom of a well. She leaned in until her face was only inches away. Ahri inhaled, drawing essences of the woman's life from her breath. Ooh, okay. Huron was a young girl hiding, hungry and afraid, beneath a market stall. 2 men argued above, looking for her. She had nothing but empty coffers to show for her day's work. Ahri continued to drain Huron's life, sampling memories of raw emotion. They felt rich in Ahri's mouth, and she relished each unique flavor of emotion. Huron told the fortune of a witch doctor shrouded in veils, receiving a copper for her troubles. She used the coin to buy a piece of bread, which she devoured in seconds. In a seedy tavern, a raucous group played cards. A man with eyebrows resembling butterfly wings gambled a golden mellowstone while Huron watched from the shadows. Huron tracked Ahri as she walked through the market. One of her foxtails peeked from beneath her cloak. She drew the Vestaya into her caravan. Enough. Ahri stopped, her head spinning with renewed vigor. With each memory she stole from Huron, she felt energy rush back into her weakened muscles, cleansing them of the poison. Strengthened once more, she slowly shook her limbs awake and flexed her tails with a shiver. They tingled with pinpricks. Huron stood wide-eyed and dazed, still very much alive. It was she that would wake tomorrow, good as new, less a few memories that she would not miss. With knowledge of the woman's life, Ahri's rage had faded. She pressed her hand against the fortune teller's cheek, then wrapped her cloak tightly around her shoulders and stepped out into the sunlit market. So she saw that the lady was like just poor and just trying to make a living, but yeah. Huron would not remember her or their encounter, but Ahri had left the trade with a name to hunt, Mello, and the image of the man with soft winged eyebrows was burned in her mind. Okay, I'm pretty intrigued by these sunstones and if we've gotten anywhere with the lore of these. And maybe that's partly why Ahri, I think the last thing I saw of Ahri was she was headed to Bilgewater. I believe that was before the Ruination event though, and I don't recall what happened with her during the Ruination event. But yeah, anyways, very interesting stuff here with the sunstones, and I'm kind of glad because in the whole biography for her, it was very much like they made a full paragraph letting you know she has these sunstones. They're pretty important. She doesn't know what they're for or where they came from, but she knows they're important, right? It's very cool that this whole story was essentially about those sunstones, and I'm hoping we learn more about it, and maybe it's going to be, I feel like Riot has done this with a lot of the characters, and there hasn't been like a big payoff yet. You guys let me know if there is a character that's had like a big payoff where it's been like 5 years and then we finally find something out. because I feel like a lot of these, the lore is kind of just like set there and then they haven't done anything with it yet. So, you know what I mean? I'm hoping there's like a big payoff with these sunstones at some point in the future, or maybe there is already a payoff and we just haven't found out yet. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue. We're going to do some of the cinematics if she's got any, and then of course, like do her skins and all the other stuff. Okay. All right, let's start off with Ahri's reveal in Legends of Runeterra.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
Ahri wanders the wilds.
The hunt eternal.
All right, so she's only 2 mana, 2/3, quick attack. Attack the first time I attack, strike, swap me with the ally to my right, then recall it. And then you level up when you've recalled 6+ units this game. Interesting.
Captivating.
Does that have to do with her in-game abilities?
Care that the hunt does not consume you, Ahri.
The
The others
mourned.
seem to wish it so. Tempest style, wind form.
Wind form. Huh. So she's like a fox, right? She's going to be pretty quick. That's why she probably has quick attack.
I'm one of the good
I want to see the
guys,
level up
but not
animation.
that good. Funny. I was going to say the same. Flight steps.
That's pretty true.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
All right, let's not talk about the voice lines just yet, though. I know we're going to listen to those later. A lot of like Vestayan,
But not
Ionian
to
cards
hide.
going on in here.
Like a storm, I bring change.
My search is over.
Oh.
Now I hunt.
Oh, very
The
cool
world's heart
animation.
beats with mine.
All right, let's pause. When you recall an ally, reduce its cost by 1. Each time I attack, strike, swap me with it. Okay, yeah. So you reduce the cost of your cards by 1 when you recall them. That's pretty cool. That animation was really cool. Charm. You know what? I actually think I know about that ability for Ahri somehow.
Be still.
We haven't taken a look at her gameplay spotlight yet, but still. Guys, let me know how the Ionian cards are in Legends of Runeterra right now. They're pretty good. Dang, she's just taking out everybody. Whoa, that was interesting.
But watch your back.
Right.
She just like went one by one.
Victory at any cost! No more running.
Hello, my prey.
Ahri's an interesting character, and like I thought she wasn't like some predator type character, I guess, but she literally just said something about like finding prey, like a fox.
Remember this moment.
Okay, cool. So hold on, let's pause for just a little bit. We got Ahri's Charm, Children of the Forest, and then there's some other Vestayan cards. These are very much Vestayan-esque. Okay, cool. What other cards? There should be like another row here. No, that's it. Cool. Really nice artwork for her. Yeah, again, guys, let me know for Legends of Runeterra stuff. I do always want to know, you know, like how good are Ionian cards? How good is Ahri's card in the game? I just, you know, generally want to, you know, an idea of how good those cards actually are. I really did actually like her level up animation. I thought it was one of the better ones. I haven't seen all of them, of course. I haven't seen that many, to be fair, but I did really like the animation for that one there. And then, of course, we got a little glimpse of her voice lines. We'll get that later when we start diving into all of the voice lines later. All right, everybody. So for Ahri's champion overview, we are going to just do the Wild Rift version because the other version is 11 years old. You know, the original League of Legends Ahri. But we're going to do the Wild Rift version. This is only 2 years old, so I'm going to assume this is her current ability set, and it'll be like the most updated, right? The 11-year-old one won't really matter. All right, let's do it.
No one will stand in my way.
The Nine-Tailed Fox. All right, what do we got for Ahri ability-wise? Dang, she just blasted that dude. Okay, she looks really cool in game. Oh, I like when she like doesn't. Yeah, I like that her 9 tails are actually like flowing and whatnot. Okay, so it's behind me here, but it says the passive is Essence Theft, heal from abilities. Okay. Right, that makes sense, just getting essence from people. We have Orb of Deception, launch and return magic orb. Oh, very nice. That's a cool ability. That's kind of like an easy ability, I feel like. Foxfire, fire bolts and move faster. Oh, cool. It's auto aim. And then Charm. Okay, damage and charm an enemy. Somehow I've seen this ability before. I don't know how. Maybe I've just like watched a friend play Ahri or something. I've seen that ability, but very cool ability there. And Spirit Rush, dash forward and deal damage. That's her ult. Interesting. You can do it multiple times. I will say, just from this outgo, she looks like a pretty easy character to use, like a beginner type character. Some of the beginner type characters can still be really good at the high level, right? But you guys let me know. Outfox opponents with Grace and Charm. Oh, that Charm's really good. Yeah, the Charm is probably like her best ability because of the fact that like it immobilizes an enemy champion, but also lures them towards you, which is like super good. Super good. Oh, and of course, all of a sudden, I totally forgot. Yeah, here's the Ahri or the KDA skins. For some reason, on the top of my brain, I totally forgot that Ahri was in KDA. I don't know how that slipped my mind. Yeah, we have already reacted to all the KDA stuff. I'm really hoping we get another KDA song this year in 2023. That'd be really awesome. Like, that'd be really hype, honestly, because all the KDA stuff knocks it out of the park. I think they're all great. I do have some favorites over some of the others, but like I think all the KDA stuff is pretty good, and Ahri's really good in all of them as well. All right, guys, let me know again. Yeah, let me know. Let me just know about Ahri in League of Legends. Like I said, she seems like a beginner type character. Like if I was gonna play League of Legends, she seems like somebody that I could use that would be pretty easy to play compared to like some of the other characters we just recently reacted to, like Irelia or something. And yeah, just let me know if she's pretty good at the higher tier level gameplay or if not. Okay, as I suspected, Ahri has 1,000 skins in the game. She is a very old character, so it kind of makes sense. I imagine some of these older ones might not be the best compared to like some of the newer ones. Again, I usually think the newer ones, they like, they have either different artists or if they've just changed their style a bit. So it's a little bit nicer or cleaner or whatever. The game's been updated, things like that. So, all right, let's put Ahri's, we're going to pick our top 3. This might be difficult. You guys let me know in the comments what your favorite skin is though. Okay, so we have the original. We'll put it in the top 3. I do like it. Dynasty. Ooh, I actually already like the first skin for Ahri. Dang, why is this so good already off the bat? Okay, Dynasty skin's really good. I'm not going to select my top 3 until we get to the end, I think. Midnight skin. Okay, these skins are going to be freaking so good, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Midnight skin, also very good. Foxfire, also very good. Okay, so we're getting just kind of like a color theme, I would say, with Ahri here on these first ones, but they're all freaking fantastic. Oh, whoa, the like orangish fire tails here look really awesome, actually. I need to recall this one because I think this could be a top 3. I really like the tails on that one. Okay, and then we have Popstar. So this is kind of like before, this is definitely before KDA existed. Yeah, it even says she won new K-pop artist at the 2013 Pop Shine Awards. This is a very old skin, but it still looks nice nonetheless. Holy crap, these Ahri skins, they went crazy with these. You can already tell. Then we have Challenger. It's a good one. I don't know if it's my favorite. They're all like kind of just like semi-similar. What's really cool about Ahri's character for like the artist is the 9 tails. It like they can do some really cool stuff with it. Like this, for example, looks really cool for her tails. I think that's awesome. Okay, we have the Academy one. The Academy one can't be that old. The Academy's from 2015. Wow. I didn't think they were doing Academy skins until like more recently, but I guess, yeah, the Academy ones are really good as well. I know the Academy skins, I think, are pretty popular amongst players. I could be wrong, though. Okay, the arcade skins were from 2016. I do like the arcade. Guys, I'm just going to run through these as fast as possible because there's too many, and these are all freaking good. This is going to be impossible to pick my top 3. Okay. So, see, Star Guardian is actually really cool. I do like the whole Star Guardian, like, universe and kind of the aesthetic of Star Guardian. It's obviously very like Sailor Moonish and stuff like that. So that's cool. Star Guardian is a very good one. KDA. Yes, KDA skin. This is the one from their very first video, I believe. The, I forget, Popstar song, right? I just recall like the laundromat scene and things like that. KDA skin, also very good. We have Prestige KDA. I don't really like the gold, I feel like sometimes, but her tail is still really cool in the KDA ones with like the glass or amethyst look to it. I think that's really nice. We have Elderwood. Oh, so this is very much like Nico kind of Vestian, more Vestian stuff with this one. Came out in 2019, so it's not that old. I guess that was about 4 years ago now, but still very nice skin here. It makes sense that she would have like a Vestian, more Ionian kind of skin for her character. And then we have Spirit Blossom. Oh, I forgot about the Spirit Blossom stuff from 2020. Okay, I guess for me, I'm going to have to like look at what they do with her tail because I feel like a lot of the skins are kind of similar. I'm going to have to see what they do with the tail because it seems like a lot of the skins are semi-similar in the way of like what she's just wearing. And I think what they can really do and make it more unique is like what they do with the tail. So let's go ahead and see. Let's keep moving. Okay, the KDA All Out, yeah. So this is from, I believe, either their second or third video. I forget what the video or what the song was for this one, but I do recognize this one. In game, man, the tail looks insanely good. That's really cool. I love how many different color combinations you get as well. Oh, see, that's so good. We definitely have to probably put one of the KDA ones in the top 3. Oh, and of course, not surprised she gets a Coven skin. 2021, dude, this Coven skin actually looks super good. I like that she's covering her eye. I don't know why, but it feels different that she's covering her one left eye here. And the whole thing, like all of them have her left eye covered. It's kind of interesting. I guess it's supposed to be edgy, right? I don't know. I do like the dark aesthetic, and I really like the coloration on her tail here. And you can actually see the feathers in it. That's really cool. Or the fur, I guess you can say. All right, this is just a different prestige KDA. We'll move on. Arcana. So this is from 2022. This is all very new. See, this is what I'm talking about with the tails. Look at this. That is definitely a different take on her tails, but I don't know if it's my fave, actually. Like, it's cool. I do like it, but I don't know if it's my fave. And then the last skin that we have in here is from just this year. So in May of 18, we have Snow Moon. Interesting. Oh, see, they're going crazy with her tail now. Look at that. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to do like one of the older skins. I'm going to do a KDA skin, and then I'm just going to have to choose one of these other new ones. I don't know. All right, this is what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to pick one of the older skins I liked. I think I like the Foxfire one. So we're going to pick this one. I do kind of, yeah, I just really love this orange, I guess. I don't know. There's something about that orange. Even like these other 2 variations are really cool as well. We're going to pick a KDA skin. And then I'm just going to pick like another other skin for her. And those are going to be my top 3. These are too hard to choose from. I don't know if Ahri has the most skins in the game. She might be. I have no idea. But her skins are all fire. I'm going to be honest. The devs went really hard on her skins. And I think they all are really good. I don't have a complaint about any of them. Okay, for the KDA skin, geez, this is difficult, guys. I don't know. Okay, for the KDA skin, I think we're going to go with the very first one. I do like this aesthetic. I like her tail on this. The amethyst look is really cool. I know you can change it to a different one. There's Ahri-versary, but I do like the purple amethyst, you know, look to her tail on that one. And then for the final skin, guys, you guys might hate me. I don't know. This is really hard. So we have, how do I choose? We got Star Guardian. Love Star Guardian. Love the Spirit Blossom one. I actually really like the Coven one. The Arcana is actually pretty cool. And Snow Moon from recently is also very cool. You know, you guys might hate me. I'm going to go Snow Moon. I really like this purple black. I don't know. I like the purple black aesthetic on Ahri. I like the darker toned skins. And I like trying to have like a, you know, a different skin set in my top 3 that's totally different from the other 2. That's a recap of my skins. We got Foxfire, Coven, and then the very first KDA skin for Ahri. You guys let me know in the comments, though, what your favorite skin is or your favorite top 3 skins are. Her skins are insane. Let's be honest. Her skins are freaking insane. All right, continuing on the fandom below the skins, we got Ahri's dance preferences, Run Devil Run by Girls' Generation. Now, I do know Girls' Generation is a K-pop group. But I don't know the song specifically. First icon for Spirit's Rush displays Ahri without fox ears, which harkens to the time she didn't have them. Oh, okay. So Ahri didn't always have them? Okay. Some of her older models, such as original Ahri and Midnight Ahri, lack whispers in game. Oh, I didn't even realize that they had whiskers on the newer ones, I guess. Or, yeah. For the most visually appealing champion in League, Ahri's visual appeal is statistically ranked first among men and second among women, second to Jinx. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. How was that calculated? Okay, I guess the people have spoken. Yeah, in terms of visual appeal amongst men, Ahri is the most visually appealing and second for women. And Jinx is number 1 for women. Okay, so now we're doing the Fandom Wiki for Ahri. Now, the most of the stuff up here was just repeat of what we read in her biography already, so we're going to read the new stuff here. So it says, the Garden of Forgetting. Grief-stricken and in despair over the loss of her first and only love, Ahri retreated from society and traveled to the Garden of Forgetting. Here she wished to erase all the troubled memories she stole during her time as a predator, especially that of her former lover. Now, see, any character that, like, in any sort of pop culture that, like, steals the memories of other people, this is always, like, their weakness, right? Is when they steal the memories of too many people or something like that, right? There she met Ilgia, I don't know how to say that, the garden's keeper, who she begged to take the memories of her lover. She offered her a snow lily and instructed her how to give the memories to the flower, allowing Ahri to forget. And although she tried, Ahri instead chose not to forget, as she decided that destroying these memories would be much worse than living and learning from them. So that's a big moment. This must be in probably another short story that we didn't read. All right, so now we have modern history. Search for the Vistani. Wishing to find a solution to control her abilities and predatory nature, Ahri became consumed with learning more about where she came from and about her Vistayan tribe. She traveled throughout Ionia searching for answers and would eventually go to Omika Yalan, something like that, the once sacred grove of the God Willow, a legendary and magical tree that had been cut down thousands of years ago. There she would meet several spiritual creatures who protected a God Willow sapling. Among these creatures were Vistayan lords such as Hamonshi, Gaish, and the Tailcloak Matriarch, and a mighty spiritual fox named Sinan, Thousand-Tailed. It was here that Ahri would learn more about her nature as a Vistaya and come to terms with it, learning to embrace her wild nature and continue to search for her lost tribe. Oh, well, that's pretty big stuff that I didn't get to learn until just now. Okay, and then the Spirit Blossom Festival. At some point, Ahri would find more clues about Mello that would require her to travel to Bilgewater. However, Ahri decided that she would need a bodyguard to take her overseas and went to Wele during a Spirit Blossom Festival to look for someone, ending up hosted at a local tea house. Overhearing a conversation about warriors in the village, Ahri became interested in finding one but was immediately denied by Pascoma, the tea house owner, who did not wish anyone dangerous in the inn and recommended she find somewhere else to stay. Ahri insisted on staying but respected the woman's wishes and didn't want to bring trouble into her house. Ahri later discussed with Satoka, Pascoma's granddaughter, about the legends and mythology surrounding the Spirit Blossom Festival. Most notably, the girl mistook her Vistayan appearance for a costume mimicking the Gatekeeper. Oh, interesting. A mythological Ionian spirit known for guiding the dead souls during the festival. When the tea house began to serve dessert, Ahri spoke to Tarasi, Pascoma's spouse, and charmed him into allowing her to house warriors with her in their house. Okay, so she charmed him. She would finally find her bodyguard in Yasuo, a lone swordsman in search of a purpose outside of Ionia. Perfect, yeah, so that's the connection there that we know about. Because they both sought things outside of their homeland, Ionia, Ahri easily persuaded Yasuo into accompanying her. However, she refused to reveal her true Vistayan nature to Yasuo, fearing she might lose control of her ravenous hunger. The two eventually set sail and took a boat to Bilgewater. Okay, so we do know about them going to Bilgewater, but what's happened since then? I know, I guess, probably just the Ruination stuff, right? All right, so this says recent events and arrival in Bilgewater. Now arriving in Bilgewater, Ahri searched for more clues about her lost tribe. When she discovered what she discovered were known as the Vistani. Yasuo, simply following Ahri as protection, began to feel frustrated by how little he knew about his mysterious employer. The two would end up at a black market and, speaking with one of the vendors, learned about a Vistani sunstone that was recently purchased by a member of the Jagged Hooks named Malik, who was headed towards Grey Harbor. Deciding to search for the pirate tomorrow, the two stayed the night at a local tavern where Yasuo deduced Ahri's true nature as a Vistaya as she revealed her true mission to him. That night, after having a nightmare of her former lover, Ahri feared the same fate would befall Yasuo and left for Grey Harbor alone. Okay, so she really cared about Yasuo and didn't want to hurt him. And then it says, managing to track down and interrogate one of the Jagged Hooks. Here she discovered that the Pirate King Gangplank actually took the Sunstone and set off for the Shadow Isles. Okay, so now Ahri's going towards the Shadow Isles, is my guess. Yes, traveling to the Shadow Isles. In pursuit of the Sunstone, Ahri went to the Shadow Isles and left her cloak behind in the forest. Here she encountered the nature spirit Maokai, who explains his origins as a spirit that once helped the Blessed Isles flourish with life before the awful ruination of Helia. As she asks for Gangplank's whereabouts in hopes of retrieving the Sunstone he carried, Maokai reveals that he's actually allied himself with the Revenant Thresh. Ooh, okay, we didn't know that. Soon Yasuo, now accompanied by Braum, Malawi, Misfortune, and Pike, arrived on the Isles in search of Ahri and Gangplank, but instead encountered Maokai, who mistakes them for enemies. The group battled Maokai before Ahri intervened, clearing the air and explaining to the group what she had learned from Maokai. Maokai explained that the black mist has formed into walls protecting Thresh's fortress and offered to help clear the path if they can cleanse his roots. Ahri planned on heading to one of the vaults in search of more answers, but the others insisted on accompanying her to cleanse Maokai's roots, to which she reluctantly agrees. Yeah, so this, I'm feeling like this is from the whole game that I guess it says Return to the Ruined King is down here. That's the game name, isn't it? So maybe this is like a prologue to the game. I have no idea. This seems like a pretty important event that is occurring here because, you know, it's got a lot of characters, you know, working together and stuff. So this is kind of interesting. They eventually cleansed Maokai's roots, but he remained too weak to destroy the walls of black mist. Instead, the group traveled to an undersea temple of the Buru in order to purify one of Maokai's seeds and grant him the necessary strength to clear out the mist. Though the seed's corruption nearly caused Ahri to lose control of her hunger, she managed to purify it within the temple. Traveling to return to the seed to Maokai, the group meets an undead shade named Nekrit, revealed to be the former advisor for Viego. Wait, Nekrit? Okay. The Ruined King of Camivore. He exposes the true origins of the Shadow Isles and reveals that Gangplank and Thresh have formed an alliance to reawaken and steal the power of Viego. Right. Okay. We do know that from reacting to Viego and like the Ruination event a little bit. With Maokai reinvigorated by the Purified Seed, he manages to clear out the walls of Black Mist and exposes Thresh's fortress, allowing the group to enter. Inside Thresh's Library of Agony, Ahri found the Sunstone depleted of its magic, as well as other Vistani artifacts in Thresh's possession. After taking the Sunstone for safekeeping, she proceeded to aid the rest of the group in defeating Thresh before he managed to escape. Okay, so they defeat Thresh in this whole scenario here. Man, we have a lot here. So now we have a full bunch of paragraphs here for Return of the Ruined King. Okay, now searching for Gangplank, the group traveled to the heart of the Isles, hoping to stop him, but arrived too late, as Gangplank has already reawakened Viego and was attempting to imprison him within a Buru artifact. This fails, however, as Viego possesses Gangplank and forces him to battle the group while he heads to Bilgewater in search of his queen's lost crown. The group manages to defeat Gangplank, releasing him from Viego's control and taking him as a prisoner on Misfortune's ship. Meanwhile, Ahri sensed something lingering in the Black Mist and got visions of Viego's discarded memories. Oh, seeing the negative parts of his marriage and learning the truth that his love for his wife was not as pure as he tells himself. Oh, that's very cool that Ahri actually gets to see Viego's memories. That's interesting stuff. Okay. In order to pursue Viego, Yasuo volunteered to channel the wind into the sails, and Ahri empowered him with her own magic. Gangplank reveals to Illaoi that Thresh knew a secret capable of defeating Viego, but never told him. Illaoi, however, deduces that the secret is the discarded memories that Ahri discovered. Okay. Though they manage to reach Viego, he hits them with a mass of black mist and shipwrecks them on a mysterious nearby island with mystical winds. Oh, here Yasuo became haunted by visions of his past and confronted a shadow resembling his dead brother. Okay, we got to play this game, I feel like. Return of the Ruined King? This is crazy. I don't know what the actual gameplay is like in it, though. Seeing Yasuo's past, Ahri began to empathize with him and shared her own past grievances relating to her dead lover, allowing him to defeat the shadow and overcoming his past. The ship is eventually repaired, allowing them to make it back to Bilgewater before Viego does as they prepare Bilgewater for the upcoming harrowing. Okay. The group planned to have Ahri weaken Viego and imprison him within a Gangplank's amulet, but it had been corrupted and damaged in the fight. They learn of an ancient Buru forge on the Shadow Isles that would have the necessary power to fix it, and Necrit reveals that this forge lies within the Vistani vault. Inside the vault, Ahri learned more about the Vistani, that they were a nomadic tribe of Vistaya and experts in studying magic relating to memories. Oh, relating to memories specifically. Their nomadic lifestyle brought them to the Blessed Isles, where they became allies with the city of Helia and began to study the ethereal hallowed mist that once protected the Isles, learning to harness its power over memories to enchant golems and other artifacts such as Ahri's Sunstones. The Vistani, however, became victims of the terrible ruination of Helia that ultimately created the Shadow Isles. Okay, so all of them ended up perishing from that. Ahri is eventually forced to make a decision to use the Sunstone to house the memories of her people or to house Viego's discarded memories as a means to weaken him. Oh, wow. So she has a choice here. Ahri, knowing it's for the sake of stopping a global harrowing, chose to store Viego's memories, causing the memories of her ancestors to fade. Despairing over the loss, Ahri was suddenly faced with the memory of her dead lover, who forgave her for what she did. He explained that her memories will always be with her, but they are less important than making memories in the future. Dude, that's some deep stuff. Wow. Now finding closure, Ahri accepted her newfound purpose and dedicated herself to bettering the world and allowing herself to create new memories. Okay, so now we have... We essentially are getting her full arc here. Like, she's like moving on from the past now and just wants to move forward with her life and just like focusing on the future. In order to purify the amulet, Ahri bears her soul before Nagakaburos alongside the rest of the group and battles her avatar, to which they are found worthy of the goddess's help, as the Mother Serpent purifies the amulet. Yeah, we gotta play this game. They return to Bilgewater to face off against the Viego, and Ahri uses the Sunstone imbued with his discarded memories to weaken him, allowing Misfortune to trap him within the amulet. With the battle over, Ahri celebrates with her friends at the Baron's Rest Tavern, where each member of the group talks about their future plans now that Viego has been defeated. Ahri reveals that she plans on returning to the Shadow Isles and study the Vistani vaults further to learn more about their... Okay, so she is going to learn more about her ancestors. Now Ahri continues to carry the legacy of her Vistani ancestors forward, bringing good into the world and traveling the world as she creates new memories of her own, free of regret and despair. Very cool. This game gives Ahri like a full, big, good arc. Like this Ruination, or not the Ruination, the Return of the Ruined King. Yeah. Well, obviously we do know that Viego gets out of this amulet. I can't recall off the top of my head how it happens, but yeah, we know that's not the end of Viego here when he gets trapped in the amulet. But this was still a very cool... This is basically all of Ahri's arc in terms of lore, and it was put into the Return of the Ruined King game. So That's something I would be interested in doing. All right, so appearance. Ahri is a female Vistani of medium stature with pale skin and long black hair. Her eyes are golden yellow with silt-shaped pupils, and her cheeks have red whisker-like marks on them. Due to her Vistani nature, she has black fox ears atop her head, long claws for nails, and 9 white fox tails. She usually wears a white dress with red and gold details, as well as trinkets such as 3 purple tassels. At times, usually when hiding her Vistani nature among society to stop from unwanted attention, Ahri wears a giant white hooded cloak to shield not only her face, but also her 9 white tails. Okay, we have seen that. All right, so personality. Ahri started out as a very savage and impulsive, growing up in the wilds away from civilization and becoming obsessed with consuming the spiritual essence of mortals. As she devoured more of the souls, she began to feel what her victims had felt, becoming more empathetic and reluctant to continue her hunts. So yeah, it's kind of like she had the same thing as Evelyn, or she sort of has the same thing as Evelyn. Obviously, Evelyn is more like pain and agony and stuff, but like it's the same kind of like process almost, but like Ahri actually had empathy. And, you know, Evelyn is Evelyn. She would harbor many regrets in her life, especially the death of her lover. After his death, Ahri distanced herself almost completely from society, staying as far away from people as her own way of protecting them from herself and her hunger for souls. Still, she was grief-stricken and regretful of the misdeeds of her hunts, seeking a way to forget these bad memories entirely. Ultimately, she would decide that forgetting these memories would be much worse, and instead vowed to find a way to tame her hunger and control her powers to keep from hurting people the way she had done in the past. With time, Ahri became determined to find more about her tribe of Vistaya, but still distancing herself from others. Prior to meeting Yasuo, she had interacted with the other mortals for a long time and retained a sense of secrecy. Though deceivingly old and wise with the knowledge of many memories she had consumed over the years, she sometimes comes off as youthfully witty, mischievous, and even flirty, probably due to her magical ability to charm people. Well, that makes sense. Although she remains somewhat moody and impulsive, she has become incredibly empathetic with her abilities to consume emotions, even empathizing with those that would wish her harm. Oh yeah, that makes sense that she became empathetic because of the people that, you know, like the memories and stuff that she gets from people. After deciding to cleanse the memories of her ancestors within the Sunstones in order to house Viego's discarded memories, Ahri becomes less focused on grieving the memories of her past. Instead, she has now moved on from her past grievances and now seeks to move forward with the future, into the future with hopes of creating new memories and making her Vistani ancestors proud. Very fitting, like full arc for her, to the point where I don't know if you really need to do too much more lore for Ahri. Like I would say a lot of the characters that we've reacted to, we haven't gotten like a full arc. They've kind of left them off in the middle of somewhere doing something, searching for something. But Ahri's story is like kind of complete, I would say. All right, abilities. Vistayan physiology. Ahri is a Vistaya, an ancient race of demi-humans changed by magic of the spirit realm. This connection to the spirit realm has increased their longevity and granted them powerful magics, allowing them to live for centuries. Ahri is a member of the Vistani tribe of Vistaya, Vulpine Vistaya, that resembles snow foxes. Enhanced speed. Ahri is much faster and agile than an average human due to her nature as a Vistani. Along with that, she can utilize spirit magic to fly in the air swiftly and float above the ground. She has sharp claws. Ahri's nails are incredibly sharp and capable of scratching thanks to her Vistani nature. Yep. Soul feeding. The Vistani have the ability to absorb the spiritual essence of others, which includes one's memories, emotions, and their very life force. When a Vistani does this, they experience these same emotions and memories as if they were their own, stating the innate hunger they have for spiritual life force. As a young Vistani and untrained Vistani, Ahri sometimes has a weakness to this hunger that she constantly tries to control and tame in order to avoid becoming ravenous. The only thing that I could see happening in Ahri's arc in the future is like that hunger and ravenous stuff coming back. And like she becomes like a villain or something for a minute. Spirit magic. Ahri has a powerful connection to the spirit realm, allowing her to sense things within it and manipulate it to an extent. She has spirit fire manipulation. Ahri can condense raw spiritual energy into different shapes, particularly in the form of magical blue flames that she can manipulate with ease. Ahri utilizes this ability to condense energy, a powerful orb that she uses as a weapon to summon spiritual flames around her. Okay. So it's something with blue flames, magical blue flames. And then mind manipulation, obviously. Ahri has the ability to manipulate the minds of others through their emotions. With this, she can hypnotize others and charm them into following her commands or lure towards her. Along with that, Ahri can connect to the minds of others to sense their emotions or memories as if they were her own. Very nice. All right, so relationships. It says Yasuo. Ahri met Yasuo during a Spirit Blossom Festival when looking for a bodyguard to escort her to Bilgewater. Though she initially kept her distance from him, not even revealing her name, let alone her nature as a Vistaya, he managed to find out the truth, and though Ahri was reluctant to keep him around, Yasuo still promised to stay by her side. After having a nightmare of the death of her former lover, Ahri ran away and traveled without Yasuo, leaving him behind in order to protect him from herself. Despite this, Yasuo still vowed completely to find her. The two talk more when Ahri joins Yasuo and the rest of Misfortune's crew, growing closer and sharing more details on each other's past, with Ahri even revealing to Yasuo why she ran. They form a good friendship along the way. Yeah, they're probably like best friends. After being shipwrecked on a mysterious island with mystical winds, Ahri witnesses Yasuo confront the shadows of his past, and the two empathize with each other's stories. They vow together to move past their own grief in favor of a better future. Yeah, they're like the friends that like lift each other up and like know each other's traumas and stuff, so they like are able to like help each other, right? Okay, so for Misfortune, Alawi, it's all TBA, Necrit, Viego, Gangplank, Thresh, Maokai. It all says TBA, which is interesting. I don't know if somebody's gone in and changed that. I guess the only relation is the stuff from the Return of the Ruin King game. That would be my guess. There's something here for Braum, though. Initially, Ahri is amused by Braum's optimism and spirited nature, but admits that she assumed Braum was a troll when they first met purely because of his massive stature. Braum quickly befriends Ahri, particularly when he confides in her about Yasuo's unwavering dedication to finding and protecting her. The two exchange some information about each other's homelands, such as Braum explaining what an Iceborn is, and even being so kind as to invite her to visit the Freljord one day to witness them herself. Okay, very interesting. I guess you could see like Ahri's arc would be maybe like her coming out to like help one of these friends that she made during the Return of the Ruin King arc, and like maybe she goes and helps them there in their homeland or something, right? So yeah, very interesting. I mean, Braum is, Braum seems like the wholesome dad or wholesome grandpa or something. I feel like we'll get to Braum at some point. He hasn't really been requested, but I kind of get an idea of his character already. All right, guys, and then we just have a little tiny portion for trivia here. It just says Ahri is an adult Vistaya and is over a few hundred years old. During her lifespan, myths surrounding her existence have been passed down, such as the demon fox, as well as the legend of the mythological gatekeeper may have been influenced by her. Okay, and then when I hover over gatekeeper, it shows Spirit Blossom Ahri. So, okay, we don't know if that's actually Ahri from like her past life maybe, or if like she just happens to look like the gatekeeper, right? Ahri owns a pair of golden sunstones that she mysteriously had since she was a baby. The stones are supposedly made by a talented craftsman named Mello, who carves them out of the fossilized eggs of mystical creatures. Later, she discovered more of her tribe when visiting their vault on the Shadow Isles. Then it says the events of her stories all happen at some point within around the last 10 years after the Noxian invasion of Ionia. So it's all within the last 10 years, all very recent. And then it says Ahri is likely 5'5" high, same as her KDA counterpart. Okay, very nice, guys. Okay, so it looks like the short stories that we may have missed were Garden of Forgetting, the short story for that. Kin of the Stainblade. I feel like, it's the video, right? Okay, we've seen that actually. And then the Kingdom video, which I think is like the trailer for Return of the Ruined King. And then there's Perennial. I don't know what Perennial is. And then there's the Ruined King game, of course. Okay. All right, guys, let's get on to the part that you guys are all waiting for. That's going to be the voice lines for Legends of Runeterra as well as, in-game. All right, so we're going to do the Legends of Runeterra voice lines for Ahri first. Looks like we only have like 2.5 minutes of it. The rest is just of other people, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's do it. So we got Misfortune up first.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
Funny, I was going to say the same.
True, and that makes sense probably with Misfortune being a pirate, obviously, right?
Rom is on the job.
We must sometimes clash with our natures.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Yasuo's lines,
Right.
I swear.
Hasagi!
That
Is
laugh,
the leaf's
though.
only purpose to fall.
You still haven't answered that question?
I go where the road takes me.
Oh my god, that line.
Wanderer, for once, I think you're lost.
Care that the hunt does not consume you, Ahri.
The others seem to wish it so.
Secrets are power, little fox.
Keep them with grace. I've learned
Secrets
your
are
lesson.
power, little fox.
Ahri, how goes the hunt?
Ever on, Gaish.
Gaish.
Ahri,
Interesting characters that she's reacting to here.
whom do you deceive?
All those who don't know how to look.
Think you're fast? Cute.
Okay, I'm actually not really understanding some of these. You guys will have to let me know.
Oh, I wouldn't dare. Even the wind dies.
Even the
forest
wind
smell-
dies as she says that to Yasuo.
Marie, you hold all I wish to know. You must know so much of the world.
Woodland Keeper.
Sinan, your arrival honors us all.
Okay.
You rule the forest, Sinan, as it rules you. Sinan!
A lot of
Before-
reactions to Vistayans, just like not champion Vistayans, but like the regular Vistayans, I
This
guess you could say.
heart will make you strong. This is the heart
I
of
like
the
that we're
forest.
getting these kind of voice lines
Mind
with
if I
her.
borrow one of your lives? Is it fear that stills your mind?
Ooh, I like that line.
You hear your heartbeat. I can.
That one too.
Remember this moment, naturally. Back to the forest.
Okay, these are
I've
victories and
lost
defeats.
myself again.
So, you have chosen your path.
Promise it won't cross with yours.
She sounds very like, she actually doesn't sound like a good character, like a good champion. The way she's speaking seems very like, sus, I guess you want to say.
Would you like a cloak like mine, Great Fox?
I have no need of cloaks now, Honored One.
Oh, I like
Your
that.
parents would be proud, Great Fox.
I don't need their pride anymore.
True,
Great
nice.
Fox, where do we strike?
Wherever we can, Gaish.
This Gaish guy is kind
Your
of
heart
scary.
is loud, Great Fox.
And my steps are soft.
I face a mighty foe indeed.
I am honored to hunt you, lady.
Whoa.
You've learned our lessons too well, Ahri.
Come down from that perch, protector.
So these are all interactions with just
Beware
Vistayans,
the
it looks like, and
skies.
like Yasuo.
Beware the forest.
Honored spirit, I will keep you safe.
Are you ready to destroy?
All right, that's all we get. So yeah, it looks like we really just got the interactions with, we got Braum, Misfortune, and Yasuo. So that makes sense with the Ruined King stuff. That's right. The Ruined King game is actually like kind of older, like 5 years older. I think probably Runeterra is only like 3. So it's interesting, you know, it makes sense that she only has her interactions with the other Ruined King people, which is Misfortune, Yasuo, Braum. Feel like we're missing like a Gangplank interaction or something in here. But this is what we got. This is what I was able to find from Skin Spotlight. So I don't know if I'm missing anything here. But yeah, and then I didn't think that we would be getting all of this stuff where it's like her interaction with all the Vistayans and like the people in the forest and basically the part of the Ionian land essentially that she, which we know about that story. She did go in there to like discover herself. And so that's how she's having these interactions and knows these people. Very cool nonetheless. I was hoping we got a little bit more with other champions. But this is still good nonetheless, and I really enjoyed it. But we are going to get into her special interactions on League though next. So let's do that. All right, everybody, we are reacting to Ahri's special interactions uploaded by Skin Spotlights. Now, I did notice that there's a Star Guardian version of this, and that one seemed to have a crap ton of views. But I'm not going to do that. You guys let me know in the comments if you want me to do the Star Guardian one in like a separate video, maybe. I don't really know about the whole Star Guardian universe, so I would be totally like, I wouldn't know anything that's going on essentially. But these are the regular Ahri special interactions, and I believe they were updated with the Ruined King game. So this is only 7 minutes long, but it's better than not having any, right? So let's go ahead and dive into these.
Braum, your heart is like a warm blanket in a winter storm.
True, probably. He's always so wholesome.
Our destiny still awaits us, Alawi. I
Okay.
am no longer lost, Lilia, nor do I still want to forget.
Okay.
Revenge will consume you, Captain. Don't lose yourself like I did.
Interesting. We don't know Misfortune's
Have I
story.
finally made your list, Pike?
I do know about the list.
Khan, you and Zaya are two sides of the same heart. I finally understand what it means to be Vestaya. We are the bridge between realms. I know who I am now, Zaya, and I know what I need to do.
Do you guys think I need to do Zaya and Rakan's story? I haven't really gotten suggestions for those two, but I don't know. They seem like they're, I don't know, seem like a good champions to react to. You guys let me know.
Yasuo, I knew fate would bring us together again.
Oh, she's
Your brother
genuinely
faced
happy to
his
see him.
demons, Yone. Time to face yours.
Well, it's not that easy, RGs.
Give you the freedom you desire. I won't lose myself to you.
First encounter, any.
You're not afraid of me, are you?
Ahri's voice
I'll
lines
make
are
your
not what they
last
expected.
moments
I'll be
matter.
honest.
Don't bother running. I'm faster.
Okay,
I'll
so
show
she's
you what I'm
fast. We
made
got
of.
it.
Your
Like a
warmth.
fox.
I'll keep it close to my heart, Braum.
Well, that's nice, I guess.
Ilawi, all paths led us to this moment.
What does that mean?
Your dreams were beautiful, Lilia.
No.
It isn't weak to move forward, Sarah. It takes
Sarah?
strength.
Okay, learned her name,
We
Sarah.
are what our natures demand, right, Pike? Zaya will miss you, Rakan. I'll keep searching to find others like us.
So a lot of her interactions here seem to be just with the Ruined King game people and then other Vistayans, but that's cool.
Zaya, in a different life, we could have been great friends. The wind may die, Yasuo, but only for a moment.
True.
Yone, I too wore the mask of a monster, but that doesn't need to define us.
Hey, okay, that's her best line yet.
Two tails are better than one, or, well, you know.
Okay, that was a good one. Pentakill?
Felt good to let loose.
Jeez, the laugh, though.
You certainly led an interesting life. Thank you for indulging me.
So she's got some smack talk, okay.
Life is shorter than you think.
Yeah.
I'll cherish these memories forever.
Okay, I understood that one.
A little bitter for my taste. I would never let you suffer.
Okay.
Refreshing.
Right, she is getting life essence out of this. You can literally, like, see it.
Go! Once more.
See me stab you.
Oh, you were trying to be funny? Cute.
Oh, I love that. That was a good one.
I've seen your most embarrassing moments, you know.
Oh, that's so
Not even
good.
Cloud Fruit could erase that memory.
Cloud fruit.
Well, that was an experience.
All right,
Not
this is
my
respawns.
favorite. I'll remember that, you know.
So I do have a question about Vestians. Are they? They're not technically immortal. Okay? So she's several hundred. She's like 300 years old or something like that. Is that because she's Vestian, or is it because of another thing, or Vistani, or Vistani's like a different? It's a version of Vestian, isn't it? I don't know. You guys let me know. Are Vestians like known to live very long? Is that what it is?
I may have 9 tails, but I have unlimited lives.
Okay, so wait a minute. Is she true in that? Like, can she not die? Is she immortal?
I know
I don't
this
think so.
place. Some part of me remembers. I'm older than all of you combined.
I wonder what that's about.
At least I think I am.
Yeah, so she is much older than a lot
I'm
of
not
people.
alone anymore. I can trust in others and in myself.
Progress. We like
Let's
that.
create new memories together.
Okay, yeah,
I've
it's a good
wasted
line.
an
Perfect
eternity
line.
standing still. It's time to move forward.
Hey, that's a good one too.
Whatever new experiences await me today, I'll meet them head on.
So like, she has these
I've
positive
fought alongside some of
voice
the best,
lines
you know,
now,
so try to keep up.
and like,
The
I don't know,
friends
it's
I've
just
made
not
are
what I expected for her
very
character.
Strange, in a cute way.
In a cute way.
If I look back now, it's only to see how far I've come.
Okay.
The Vistani left so much behind.
Oh, here we go.
I will find it all.
Okay.
He truly loved me.
Oh.
Saw me for all that I am.
Oh.
I'll never forget that.
Oh, dude,
It
that's
took me
awesome.
too
That's a good
long to
line.
realize how beautiful life can be. I've met so many new people.
Okay.
Every one of them unique.
I am liking these very positive note, like
I
kind of
will
voice lines we
always
have here.
have regrets, but I won't keep running from them. I love myself for who I was, who I am,
These are like
and who I hope to become.
affirmations to say in the
This
mirror.
forest brings me back to my days as a kid, running with the ice foxes. The trail the Vistani left. I'll follow it where it takes me, and then forge my own path.
Okay.
Hidden away for so long, it's nice to finally feel the sun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No more holding back. I go after what I deserve. To
Yeah,
stay strong.
It seems like she's just now like beginning her life almost. Like ever since the Ruin King event, the events in that game, like she's kind of finally living her life and not letting the past bring her down and stuff, you know? It's nice.
But I'm no longer afraid of losing control.
Yeah, there you go.
There's
See?
beauty in even the most painful memories.
Hmm.
Humans change over days. Nature over centuries.
Okay,
Never
that's a good way of
imagined
putting
this
it.
is the path my life would take. Memories are no longer mine to steal. They're mine to make.
There you go.
Though I've been around for a while, every day brings something new. The air smells so much sweeter without the black mist.
Oh, we got the mention of the Black Mist. That's cool.
I'll see everything this world has to offer. Wow, that cosplay
Oh, so
is
we not.
incredible.
Okay, we got the other Aris now.
All eyes are on us. If you
Pop
get
star
nervous,
Ahri.
search the stage. I'll be right beside you. My performances get intense. Think you can keep up?
I wonder if
Bang,
they're
bang,
similar
bang.
to the KDA ones, or are there KDA voice lines? I actually
heart
don't
you.
know. I heart you.
What's
That's a
your
good
wish?
one.
You've stolen my heart.
Oh, those are good.
Only look at me. My tails are my good luck charm.
Hmm.
you can try to reach my level.
These are taunts. Okay.
Need
Long
an
move.
introduction? Well, here comes trouble.
Make it
When
double.
the cheers die down, will my fans still be by my side? Stuck in a place between the space of heart and mind.
Whoa.
Ooh, I like that.
Whoa. Who's the voice actress for Ahri? Are they actually like a musician or a singer?
The brighter the spotlight, the darker the shadow.
That's
I
true.
won't be trapped in someone else's dream.
Okay.
My trainee days are long behind me. I'll be the star in your night sky.
Okay. A little cringe,
Another
but okay.
week at the top of the charts.
Okay, that one makes sense.
What's my next schedule?
A lot of pop star
My
ones.
fans are everything. If you can't fly, then run. Let's go, baby.
Our cast. Let's
Run,
go,
devil,
baby.
Run.
Okay.
I'm not looking for permission to dance.
Oh.
Hear my song and dance in the moonlight.
Okay, the recall's kind of good.
My best is yet to come. This is my comeback. Back to rehearsal.
Oh, this is RIP dying.
I can't leave my fans waiting.
Very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss Ahri overall and discuss her voice lines a little bit here. So yeah, it looks like we really just got interactions with the people from the Ruin King, which was probably a good thing for them to do. That was probably like a great idea. Like, okay, they're going to make this Ruin King game. Good idea to like update everybody's voice lines, right? Which is nice. I'm glad that they did that. And so they updated the interactions, which she had with Braum and Alawi and Misfortune, Yasuo, and things like that. Very nice as well are the Vestayan ones. Now, I don't know if the Vestayan interactions were always in here or, you know, I don't know when it really got fleshed out, like the Vestayan. When did the Vestayan species or race really get into League of Legends lore? Obviously, we had Ahri a long time ago, 11 years ago, or however long she is, or however old she is. She might have been at the launch of the game. I actually have no idea. But like, when did the Vestayans actually get created in this world? And you know what I mean? Like, who was the very first Vestayan champion, I guess, to come out after Ahri, maybe is my question. And I don't know, is there more to Vestayans that I don't know about? Because I really feel like I don't very much know about Vestayans other than, you know, they look like animals, but they're not animals, you know, they can talk and yada yada, and just like Ahri, right? So I do know they're on Ionia, right? I'm pretty sure that's that's where they come from. Is there like some sort of war? Are they involved in the Noxus Ionian war at all? I haven't reacted to a Vestayan yet, so you guys let me know about that. And like, obviously it seems like Ahri doesn't care about the Ionian Noxus war that's going on. I guess she's truly didn't have like a place in Ionia, so I guess she didn't really see it as like her homeland. She just remembers growing up with the ice foxes, right? So she doesn't have like a true calling to defend Ionia, which is a little surprising, but I guess I also get it at the same time. She's kind of like an orphan, right? Anyways, I'm just, I'm blabbing on. So I did like the voice lines. They were very good. She got a little sassy on some of these here. I like some of her interactions with Misfortune and Braum. I liked those. The Zion Rakan ones were kind of just basic, just like, hey, you guys are my friends. You guys are cool together, yada, yada. And I don't know anything about Zion Rakan. Obviously, they're Vestayan, unless I'm totally wrong on that. Alawi, we don't know anything about her. She's definitely unique in what I've learned, because she has, she's been in my other reactions and just like in general, and she's not anybody that has been suggested, but she definitely seems totally unique than any other champion in League. I guess I kept saying like I didn't expect these to be her voice lines, so I did expect all of these towards the end actually to really be her voice lines. The one where she's like being real positive and things like that, I don't know, that's just like the kind of voice lines I expected from her character. But that was before we learned that she was kind of like an evilish, not really an evilish character, but you know, she doesn't consider herself like a good person necessarily. Like, yeah, she does, but like at the same time, she knows she isn't fully a good person, obviously with the whole memory stealing and life essence thing. So, and I totally did not know that going into this character. I mean, I guess I'm the subject of stereotyping Ahri's character almost in a sense, because of just the way she visually looks. She doesn't seem like somebody that you would think is like a bad person stealing life essence from people. I had no idea about any of that stuff. But then I realized I remembered her charm ability from I don't know where. And then I think what the devs were trying to do is, you know how a fox, I guess a fox in stories and allegories or something like that. Foxes aren't always necessarily good in general in nature. Like, they can be, but you know, they are an animal, they're a wild animal. So like, I think foxes generally are good. They are technically still a wild animal. They have to feed. So maybe that's kind of what they were doing with the whole fox thing for her character. I don't know. I'm just, you know, spitballing here. Overall, though, Ahri was a fun character. It was great realizing that apparently in the NA, she's #1 for visually appealing and #2 for females. Very interesting stuff there. I know Ahri's been around for a very, very long time. Again, that's why I said I thought she was like kind of like a poster child of League of Legends. Whenever you ask somebody about League of Legends, they might think of Yasuo or Ahri or whoever, right? Some of the older characters. So Ahri is definitely one of those. You see a lot of people cosplaying as Ahri, things like that. You know, I get it. And now we know her story. Like, I did not know anything about her character whatsoever. So it was really cool to finally get her full story, learn what she's about, and learn where she goes from here. Although I did say, like earlier, it felt like she did have a complete story. She's one of the few champions I think I've reacted to. I can't even think of another one off the top of my head, actually, that I can say I think has a full kind of complete story. A lot of the other champions are kind of left in limbo or not necessarily completed their story. It's kind of like open-ended that they could totally do something else. And I guess Ahri's is kind of like that too. She still wants to discover a little bit more about the Vistani before her and things like that. But like, her story, her overall character arc, I guess you could say, that's what it is, the character arc. You know, in a movie, every character has some sort of arc where they change. Hers has happened. She had her change. She's seen like new light and new life and like what life actually means to her. She wants to create new memories, things like that. So I feel like her story is really complete, which is awesome because, you know, she is an 11-year-old character. I would hope some of these older characters would have kind of a full story. Like, for example, Yasuo is an older character. I wouldn't necessarily say his story is all that complete. Like, it kind of is, I guess, but also not really, right? We really just had recently the Yasuo Yone cinematic not that long ago for the Spirit Blossom stuff. So yeah, I don't think their stories are completely done for sure. Ahri's, though, like I said, I think is kind of complete. You guys let me know, though, if maybe I missed something and there's other ways that they could incorporate her into stories in the future, or maybe she has some other secret thing that she could discover. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this reaction for Ahri. As always, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the character, the champion, anything that you can think of. Also, always give me suggestions on who we could react to next. I do need some suggestions. We are kind of just spitballing. Like, I do have some, but we're kind of just going wherever. And of course, please leave a like on the video. It does help the YouTube algorithm because the YouTube algorithm sometimes really sucks and some people don't even get to see the video. So please do that. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed already, please do. We have tons of other reactions you can check out on the channel, and I'm going to be continuing to do these League of Legends reactions. And if you enjoyed this one, you might as well subscribe because we have a lot more coming on the way. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next reaction. Bye-bye.